What's up, you guys? I'm super excited about today's guest. She has just killed it in the real estate space, and she's one of the coolest people you will ever meet. And I'm really excited to bring her on. So don't go anywhere. Let's dive into it. You are listening
to the Mighty Mike Show.
Mighty Mike Show.
Real estate, it's not for the faint-hearted.
Most people are doing it for the safety and security to have some form of lifestyle that they don't have now.
I would literally just go around and start knocking on doors or cold calling Zillow for sale by owners.
Just take action.
You don't need to do any sales. If you are just adding value and providing value to people, it will come to you.
Your income, your life is all going to come back to the connections that you have.
And you are listening to the Mighty Mike Show.
My name is Esther Reizes-Lowenbein, and you are listening to the Mighty Mike Show.
I love it. Welcome to the show, you guys, and welcome, Esther. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you. Thanks for having me on.
Well, listen, I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to come on the show and just kind of tell us your journey and your story. One of the first things I like to dive into is just tell us a little bit about yourself and your personal life.
I have a lot to say. My personal life, I am formerly a speech language pathologist, but even more important than that, I am a wife and a mother to 8 beautiful children.
Wow, 8 children. Congratulations. That's so exciting.
Thank you.
My goodness.
And busy.
The idea that you could do this, take the time to do this is just I'm like even more honored now.
Thank you.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Awesome. Well, one of the things we like to dive into right away is your journey in real estate. And so I don't like to stay negative the whole show, but I like to start with the negative and then we go all uphill from there, all the good stuff. And it's going to be a great show, you guys. But Esther, take us to that moment of like your worst deal that you went through, and we'll dive into what we can learn about it.
So I wear several hats in the commercial real estate space. I am a realtor, investor, and capital raiser. So unfortunately, in every aspect of those hats that I wear, I have had some pretty negative experiences, whether it was being a realtor and dealing with some difficult clients, or with the eviction moratoriums in New York, where, we promised to deliver a property vacant and everyone but one old lady was leaving the building, which couldn't sell. That was one negative story. As a realtor, as a capital raiser, we have, our stories, and as an investor as well. You can put in tons of time, energy, and money into deals and they don't pan out. Literally as I was getting on this call, an offer that I put in was just outbid. So there's so many negatives, but we try to focus on the growth and try to focus on the positive and try to keep pushing from there.
That is really powerful. And I'm sure there's a lot we can extract from that. But the number one thing that I heard was, no matter what you're doing, you're going to run into challenges, right?
Oh, yes.
So not that we want to focus on the money, but there's a couple of things I definitely want to make sure I ask you before we end here the show today. A serial networker. That's what I have here in your title. What is a serial networker?
A self-coined title. I love connecting with people, meeting people. I'm a people's person. I'm an extrovert. I love getting to know people and hearing people's stories. And so I coined myself, maybe it was with someone's help, the serial networker. I'm just out there meeting people all day and doing what I love.
That is cool. Yeah. Meeting people, basically going to these different networking events and conferences and conventions and meeting people and just shaking hands and building your network. Would you say that that's a part of the reason why you've been able to sell, what was it, 400 million? That's crazy.
By now it's probably 500 million. Yes. Definitely. It's definitely a people's person business. It's all about who you know or who knows you. I think that's a big part of this business, whether you're a realtor and you're, either selling a property or looking for buyers for a property, you have to have the right connections. Whether you're an investor or a capital raiser, you have to have the people that either have the properties that are sourcing the deals or bringing in the investments. And whether you're an investor, you have to have people with the deals and, you have to have your team, whether you're working with an attorney or a mortgage broker, etc., asset managers. So it's all about who you know and who's part of your team.
Yeah, love that. Love that. The whole networking thing is it's just exciting, especially when you start raising capital. You get past that mindset of, am I not good enough? Like, can I actually raise money? Will people trust me with their money? Once you get over that hump, now you're the person that people want to throw their money at because you're giving them back the returns that they want, right?
Yeah. Well, I do several things. So I raise equity for other people. So I do a lot of connecting co-GPs and JVs. I'm connecting sponsors together. And I have a private equity fund that I raise from limited partners as well, which is like a fund-to-fund model. So I'm raising money right now for other people, but I always try to find the best sponsors, the best deals, bring in quality people and quality investments.
That is awesome. So take us to that moment of like your best deal. Like, what is the greatest experience you've had investing in real estate?
The best deal. That's a good one. Well, the whole process has been pretty amazing. I mean, let me backtrack a tiny bit about my journey and how we got started. I started as a realtor in the space, first on the residential side, moved to the commercial space. About 20 months ago, beginning of COVID time, one of my clients that I sold a property to had asked me to help them find equity for their deal. Within a few phone calls, I found them an equity partner. And I was like, wow, this is pretty cool. Let me do more of this. So I got involved in raising equity. I've since raised over 54 million and working on a lot more as we speak of connecting sponsors together. I syndicated a deal, and I also started a private equity fund. Then my husband, who was always involved in real estate to a certain extent, but when he was, I was not. He started noticing more and more of what I was doing and the deal flow that I had. And he's like, all those deals that you're sending out to others, he's like, send them to me. So started sending him deals, and he started heavily investing as well. So, he's been purchasing office building, industrial buildings, triple net retail. So everything that closed was really good. There were a lot of things that still didn't close and that were supposed to close months ago. So I guess any success is any property that actually got to the end line. And I mean, the truth is, once you buy a property, it's only the beginning. So that's when you have to start actually managing it and putting in all that work and, getting the returns you hope for. But yeah, at this point, we're like, any deal that closes is a good one.
That's cool. That's cool. I mean, like, just what's one deal that maybe like, you were once you got it, you're like, now my business is really gonna like, you have these milestones, right? Like, the first time you sell a multi-million-dollar property, first time you get like a triple net deal where it's just, this kind of stuff. Like what's one of those stories that like, so somebody can aspire to maybe accomplish that?
Well, so like I said, we're buying a lot of properties. So all those were really exciting because we were just like getting into that, that buying mode. We just recently purchased an office building portfolio in Pennsylvania. So that was exciting. It's a very large office building. But what I'm really excited about and I'm passionate about is raising equity and getting people to invest in real estate. So I'm excited about the deal that I syndicated, which was a deal in San Antonio, Texas, because first of all, I partnered with awesome people, and which I always, which I'm super excited about. And I always recommend people always going in first with the person. Like you always want to partner first with the person, and then if you like the person, then you go in with the asset. So these are people that I trust. These are people that I was excited to work with. I partnered with them. We syndicated the deal, so that was really exciting. Because my passion is getting people to invest in real estate and telling people the benefits of investing in real estate from tax standpoint, from the tangibility standpoint, where you can actually go and touch a property. It's, it's more predictable. It's a more stable asset, in my opinion, than the stock market, which is super volatile. So I'm passionate about real estate and getting people to invest. So that deal that I syndicated and got other investors to join was very exciting for me.
Wow, that is cool. Yeah, I mean, we could dive into all the details on that, but guys, if you want to get involved in syndication, you want to get involved in that kind of stuff, there's a lot of people doing that. You can actually put your money in, you don't have to know everything about it. You can actually put your money into deals and get those returns as well.
Right.
So
If you want to
what do
make
you
passive cash flow, like mailbox money while you sleep, then real estate's the way to be. If you partner with a great sponsor, do some research on the deal. It's the best place, in my opinion, to place your money.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's a lot of people out there that, that I personally know actually, that are doctors, one's a surgeon, it's like as soon as they finished their clinicals, they went to school for 14 years or whatever.
Yeah.
And then now they're cash flowing and they're like, crap, what do I do? And they have, medical bills,
Right.
not medical bills, school they got to pay for,
Right.
but they
All
still
special-
have another $200,000 in cash every year. They got to put somewhere. Uncle Sam is going to eat it up.
Yeah.
And this is the best thing they could do. Would you agree?
I think so. I think right now, even leaving your money in your bank account is a liability with inflation rising. So you want to place your money into a solid investment.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, good stuff. So what are you working on right now that has you most fired up?
So besides for what we're purchasing, which I say my husband kind of takes care of, I raise money for other people, which I always say it's my hobby because I absolutely love doing it. I'm connecting co-GPs and JVs. I do a lot of that. So I find I find an opportunity with a sponsor that is looking to partner up with an equity investor. So they're willing to become co-GPs where they both have equal say on the deal. They both have equal decision-making abilities, and they partner up and they discuss the splits on their own. And I just connect them kind of like a matchmaker. So
Okay.
that's what I love doing. I've been doing a lot of that. I'm working on several deals right now. And, within the commercial real estate space, I'm working on some ground up, some multifamily, RV parks, mobile home parks, land, parking lots, surgical centers, like you name it. I'm working on, I think at the given moment, I have 50 deals that are trying to partner up with an equity provider, with an equity partner.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that is exciting. So somebody wants to get involved with that. How can they? Are you actively looking for new people that might be watching?
Always looking for more sponsors, more investors. This is what I do. I'm always connecting more people. If anyone has a solid deal that's actively looking for an investor or an investor that's looking to place money, those are co-GP JV opportunities. In addition, I have a private equity fund that I can raise from limited partners through the fund, but those are more those deals. I'm very, very selective on who I take on. It has to be a super solid sponsor. I underwrite the deal. I'll make sure that it's a solid deal. I'll make sure the returns to the investors are nice. And every deal that I raise from limited partners, I'm also placing my own money in. So to show the investors that I really, really like the deal.
That's powerful.
So I have all types of opportunities for anyone that wants to invest in real estate.
Yeah, that's good. That's good stuff. Yeah, anytime you do a syndication, a person who's picking the deals doesn't have any skin in the game. That's a little bit scary, right?
Yeah, I always recommend to sponsors that they should, place their own money in the deal. It's always beneficial. Investors like seeing it. Not everyone does. And those people often have a harder time unless they have an amazing name out there or an awesome track record. They do have a harder time getting investors if they don't have their own money in.
Yeah, absolutely. So guys, we're about to head into the Mighty Flex round. I mean, Esther's just been dropping some crazy value, but just to mention the sponsor of the show really quick is Mighty Listing Leads. If you're a real estate agent and you want to get leads, Vulcan 7 is the tool that I use, and I think that you should too, or at least check it out, mightylistingleads.com. So Esther, are you ready to dive into the Mighty Flex round?
Let's go. Ready. Well, I'm having a hard time seeing which camera direction is if I keep on moving. I don't even see that. I'm trying to see the camera.
You look great. Everything's great. Perfect. You could just look right here.
Right there.
So what is because you're doing a lot, right? And you have all this skill and knowledge. So I'm interested, like, what's your favorite way for finding real estate deals?
So like I said before, it's all about networking, right? It's all, we like the deals that are not, and before they hit the market, we want off market deals. So in order to obtain those deals, it's all about connections, who you know. That's what we like, and that's what many people like. They want to get the scoop before everyone knows about it. So definitely it's a connection based industry.
Absolutely. And what is your is there any software you use that makes your life easier?
I am going to be using InvestNext. It's the portal that I'm going to be using for my private equity fund. That's what I'm in the middle of logging onto.
Very cool. Very cool. And what is your favorite way to fund a deal? Because there's a lot, but what's your favorite way?
Well, syndications are great. Co-GPs and JVs. That's my exciting work that I'm doing right now. So I like doing that. I like connecting sponsors together. That is my favorite way.
Perfect. And there's a lot of different personality types. And you did mention you connect people to see how they're going to work together. But what do you think people should look for in a JV partnership?
Yeah, you have to like the partner you're going into a deal with. It's a long-term thing. It's like a marriage. You really have to get along with the guy, number one. You have to like the deal. Everything has to be transparent. Obviously, you want to get an attorney involved and just make sure that everything that's written is clear and concise, and all grounds are covered in case of any scenario. I would say due diligence on the person, just like kind of like date them before you marry them. Like do your homework or test out a few deals before you go into a partnership with someone.
Yeah, especially if you're going to move forward and have 8 children, buy 8 properties with them, right?
Yeah, I gotta date them. Yeah, for sure. Good analogy.
Yeah. So, all right. And then it's very similar to property manager, right? Like, are there any tips for hiring a property manager specifically?
Same. You got to vet them. You got to see what they've done. You want to see their track record. You want to get, I always say, like, even with sponsors that are looking for equity, you want to hear from people that invested with them in the past. Same with asset managers. You want to get referrals from people that have worked with them in the past. Those are your best sources of if you're going to hire them or not. Those are your best leads.
That's good. That's really good, actually. What books would you recommend?
I don't have too much time to read between working and 8 kids. I don't have that much time, but I like The Power of Now, which is something that I try to live by because I have so much going on. I try to stay focused at the task at hand. So The Power of Now really helps you get there. It helps you focus on the now and not worry about what's going on. Appreciate what you have. Not put your if I'm with the kids, like put my phone away and focus on them. So I really have to live by that in order to live a normal life because I have so much going on. So I really like that book. And the books that I'm reading now are really like about funds because I'm all into funds. I'm reading Kim Lisa Taylor. I read it several times, but I'm reading it again. Kim Lisa Taylor's book of how to raise money legally, just to make sure everything's being done right.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to, really make sure that I'm following 100%. So that's what I read these days. Things that I have to.
That was great. Those are great recommendations. What is the greatest advice you've ever received?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Just be you. This is also something that I had to learn because I am very different than most people. I'm a Jewish religious woman and I have 8 children and I'm working working a lot. So there isn't really too many people like me. And everyone comes with their opinions and things to say. And I always I kind of got very, very comfortable with myself and what I'm doing because I learned that there's no one like me and there's not going to be anyone like me, or maybe there will, but not, I don't think so. Who knows? But just focus on being me and being myself and doing what works for myself and my family.
Man, that was gold. That is so true. Yeah, there's nobody like you. It could be applied in so many different ways. Like, why would I create a show about real estate? There's already bigger pockets. Yeah, but
Right.
there's nobody like me to
There you
create
go.
a show.
Exactly.
Right. And so I love that you said that. And I can't say that I've ever met anybody that resembles you or what you have to say necessarily. And I think that you're making a big impact, and it shows in the numbers. And I always come back to the that execution is worship. There's some quote, I always mess it up, but you can talk about ideas, you can talk about all the different things that are cool, but like what you said about the now, it just rings in my head, this like idea of execution. You want to be a better mother, you want to be a better father, be in the now and like execute on the things that are going to bring you to that. You want to lose weight,
Right.
do the things that are going to bring you to that. You want to invest in properties, start making offers, right?
You gotta take steps. And another thing is like there's no excuses. Like cut excuses out of your vocabulary, and the word blame doesn't exist. It's all taking responsibility, taking action, owning up, and really like achieving one goal at a time. Like you said, like there's no one like you, but also you gotta take that action and really act on the next goal if you want to achieve something.
So with all this inspiration, I have my surprise question, which if you watch the show, it's not a surprise. What would you do if you had to start all over again with just $100, a smartphone, and a car, but you had no contacts and no credit history, no assets? How would you start over? How would you start over and build this empire?
That's a really good one. Well, I probably wouldn't spend it on attending classes. I'd listen to free podcasts. I'd with $100, you can't even put it into a proper syndication unless it's a like a crowdfunding kind of thing. So maybe I'd put some into that just to gain some like penny interest on that. That's a good one. Yeah. $100 is too little to attend a conference or to fly anywhere. So you're limited on that end. I think your only best bet is really to invest it slowly and let it grow.
Yeah. Yeah. So I love that. I love investing and going after it. And so I actually created a group called Mighty Meetup. I'll just put it right there, mightymeetup.com, for you to be able to connect with investors. Esther, I'd love for you to come. We're actually going to have our first meetup this week on Tuesdays at 5 every week. But investors like yourself who I interview and other people who come on, and you can come on for free and just meet people. I mean, people who are moving money like yourself. And so guys, if you're watching and you're like, hey, I'm broke, I don't even have $100. You have probably a phone that can download Zoom for free, and you could come on a Zoom call. I love it.
There are lots of conferences to join, and people always ask me like, how to get started, what to do. I always say like, there's so many free podcasts. There's endless amount of knowledge out there that you could access for free. So take advantage of it.
Yeah. And of course, we mentioned Bigger Pockets. You go to Bigger Pockets, they got for networking, so many people on there. And you have a great episode on there as well. Everybody should go watch that for sure.
Yes, episode 557. I'm also on episode 518. And I have a third appearance that will be airing soon.
No way. Okay. Yes. Wow. A triple time. Okay. That's exciting. Geez. Well, I'm excited to have you on. I appreciate, everything you have going on. What is your parting piece of advice for that real estate investor that's thinking about getting started?
Get started. That's the real piece of advice. Whether you're looking to learn about stuff, start learning, start investing, do your due diligence, start, taking that first step to learning. If you want to learn underwriting, if you want to learn markets, if you're learning about different assets, if you're learning about investing in different platforms or with different people, just keep on doing research, keep on attending meetups, keep on listening to podcasts and attending classes. If you want to get into it, it's a full-time thing. You just got to put your effort into it. And I always tell people that do it, a lot of what you invest in time-wise and money-wise, not everything works out. So you really have to enjoy the process, because so many things that, like we discussed, that don't work out, it can be very upsetting. So if something doesn't work out, you need to be able to get over that really fast and move on to the next opportunity. You can't sulk in it. You can't get upset. You just have to keep on moving, and you have to love what you're doing, because you could spend hours on something that doesn't materialize. So that's something I really recommend, especially me coming, I switched careers. And now I do something that I'm so passionate about and I love. And I'm not looking back. So I always tell people, like, do what you love.
I love it. Love it. And then, sometimes you got to put in a little bit of work before you can actually love something, get some traction going, action equals traction, and then all of a sudden, things are working out in your favor. You just got to keep going after it. I love that advice, taking action. What is the best way that we can connect with you? And then we can say goodbye.
I am on Instagram as SC Lowenbein. I'm on LinkedIn as Esther Reizes-Lowenbein. I'm on Facebook. I think I'm one of those over there. You can find me on any platform. I'm all over social media. I'm pretty active. Happy to connect and chat.
Yep, I love it. I appreciate you coming on. I've been impressed with your story, and I am excited to share it with the world.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Okay, guys, until next time, go check out everything she has going on social. I'll put all the links below. If you're watching on YouTube, smash the like button. Don't just push it. Destroy the like button. If you're on LinkedIn, not a lot of people go live on LinkedIn. We're able to go live on LinkedIn here on the Mighty Mike Show. So go tag your friend who's been saying they're going to get involved in real estate and they never do. Go just like tag them in there so that they could see this and they're like, maybe be inspired. I know I'm definitely inspired. And on a personal level, actually, it doesn't happen very often, but you kind of touched me. I was like, you know what? Yeah, like I am the only person like me. And that's the whole reason for the show is like inspire people to take action in their own life. And I believe that you did that today, Esther. So thanks again.
Thanks. I appreciate that. Thanks for having me.
All right, guys. We'll see you guys on the next episode. Don't go anywhere unless you're going to go build your network so you can build a mighty net worth. We'll see you guys on the next one.